in Indiana. I grew up in Arkansas, as you heard, so I'm a Southerner, but I spent 26 years in the Midwest, and this is really nice when you live in West Lafayette, Indiana. I was walking across campus yesterday and I saw a student and I said, "Boy, this is a beautiful spring day." And the student said, "Well, I don't remember having winter." So it's been a pretty good winter too, at least in Raleigh. So I thought what I'd do is try to keep this as short as I can so I can answer any questions you have. But I want to give you a sense of what NC State's up to. Bob mentioned we've got 34,000 students. It's actually 34,788, including Malcolm's daughter, who's going to graduate in May, he hopes. He wants me to do something about that, so that's her deal. We're a big university. In fact, a lot of people are surprised to find out that NC State is the largest single campus, not only in North Carolina, but in South Carolina and Virginia. So we are big. Somebody asked me earlier, how big is your engineering school? It's just under 9,000 students, and it's the third largest engineering college in America. Only Georgia Tech and Texas A&M are bigger. So we produce a lot of smart people. In fact, we have more graduates. A larger percentage of our graduates are in science and technology fields than any other public land-grant university. So we do have some political scientists. We got some famous ones like Bob, but we also have famous ones like Governor Hunt. But what we're really known around the world for, other than Bob, is science and engineering and technology. And that's our unique role in the state. And it's something, we talk a lot, we kid a lot about, the universities we love, where we went. You're a Carolina fan, you're an NC State fan, ECU, whatever. But at the end of the day, this state is incredibly blessed to have world-class universities that have unique missions and provide a unique service to the state. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do at NC State. We have 106 baccalaureate degrees at NC State. We have 104 master's degrees and 61 PhDs and 1 professional doctorate degree called veterinary medicine. We're the 3rd ranked vet school in the country, and we're the youngest of the highest ranked vet schools. The 2 that are ranked above us are Cornell, which is the oldest vet school in the country, and UC Davis, which is the 2nd oldest vet school. So we have moved a long way in a very short period of time to build a world-class vet school. We're a land-grant university. How many of you think you know what that means? All right, Matt, what's that mean? This is interactive, by the way. All right, pretty close. Abraham Lincoln, who my grandmother would not let us mention in our house for some reason. During the Civil War, passed legislation to create the land-grant universities. And in my view, it's one of the most transformative things Congress has ever done. And to be honest with you, they haven't done a lot recently. And what they did was they gave every state in the nation 50,000 acres of federal land that the state could sell and use the proceeds to establish a university for the people for the common problems at the time, which were agriculture, mechanical arts, engineering. And so practical universities. So land-grant universities are called land-grant because the land was granted to the state. And by the way, Nebraska created NC State because the land we got to sell was in Nebraska. You got to have some federal land to sell it, and there wasn't any in North Carolina. So most of the land that the federal government gave to individual states was west of the Mississippi River. So you can thank those big states that had a lot of federal land for creating. Anyway, that's trivia. I'm sorry about that. One of the things that we're very proud of at NC State is being, and this is true of all North Carolina universities, we are a great value. I know, Malcolm, you're writing that check and you don't think that's true. But I can tell you, compared to most universities in the country, public and definitely private, it's a great buy. And U.S. News and World Report says that we're the third best value in America in higher education. By the way, number one is Carolina. And you can't putt for Carolina. Look, the point is not where we are relative to Carolina. The point is that the top two of the top three in America are in your home state. And we're the only state in America with two large research-intensive universities that are considered best buys. It's incredible. Let me tell you a little bit about the kind of stuff we do. 2 weeks ago, 4 of our students, 2 students of design and 2 students of engineering, went out to Disney World to participate in an annual competition called Imagineering. This is a competition where they bring students from all over the country together and they give them some big design problem. And this design problem was create an amusement park for the year 3011 on the moon. We won. NC State students won first place, best of show, and it's a great example of the way education works now. One was a landscape architect, one was an architect, one was an industrial engineer, and one was a civil engineer. And they came together to form this team to compete. And, you know, we talk a lot about basketball competition and football competition, and that's wonderful. By the way, have you met Coach O'Brien? He's here somewhere. Right here. Tom O'Brien, ladies and gentlemen. He looks a little different now than our football coach, but got the same name. I wanted to fire him earlier this year, but then he came back.
So did I.
All right, let me give you another example. Matt said that we're a practical kind of place, and we are. And we have students that are practically oriented. You know, they want to solve serious problems. They want to do things to move the society forward, and they want to work on big challenges. And this past year, the Wall Street Journal went out and reviewed the top 500 Fortune 500 companies in America and said, we don't care what the magazines say about the best university, because it's always going to be Harvard or Princeton. We want to know, because they get the best students, we want to know which universities produce the best graduates, and as a result of that, you hire them. That's a great survey. We were number 19 in America for the Wall Street Journal's survey of the universities that produce graduates that are in highest demand. And what you ought to be most proud of is of the top 25 universities, 20 of them are public universities across this country. And by the way, we were higher ranked than Duke and Carolina, just saying. That's it, that's not a joke, it's just the truth. Couple of things that I want to just tell you to sort of highlight the kind of work that goes on. This year, one of our professors of electrical engineering, Jay Balaga, has been at NC State for 25 years, won the National Medal of Technology and Innovation. This is the highest honor the president can bestow on an engineer in this country for innovation. And there were only 5 given. By the way, previous winners include Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, I mean people that you've heard of. Well, now I'm telling you about Jay Balaga. He's an electrical engineer. He created the bipolar gate transistor. I mean, you all knew it. Turns out you got a few of them in your car. You got a lot of them in your home. And if you've ever been revived by a defibrillator, you've got them there too. And what this guy did was develop a transistor about 25 years ago that partitions energy in semiconductors, basically controls the flow of electrons. Exciting stuff. saved a lot of energy. He's credited with saving a lot of money in this country because of the ability to control the flow of electricity in small electrical systems. So that's the kind of stuff we do at NC State. We also have a scientist that just developed a new vaccine for salmonella, which is a foodborne pathogen that heretofore the only way to control it is, well, you couldn't. And this is a vaccine that hopefully will find its way onto the market and will immunize populations against salmonella. We also, by the way, developed a bandage in the College of Textiles that promotes wound healing, not just covers it up, but actually has embedded in the textile fabric wound healing chemicals and promotes wound healing without scarring. So this is your College of Textiles that people think t-shirts, underwear, socks. They do that too. But they're doing things like UV resistant fabrics. They're doing things like wound healing textile products, filters for blood, for water, amazing things. All right, so I need to get through this quick. Economic development. You have some of my colleagues here from NC State, from the Eastern North Carolina 4-H Center. One of the great things about land-grant universities that keeps them connected all through the states they work in is the Cooperative Extension Service. NC State has an office in all 100 counties plus the Cherokee Nation. And we have NC State employees in all of those offices working hard every day to promote youth education through 4-H, to promote agriculture and natural resource and environmental science and consumer sciences. I mean, it's 4-H extension, it's still alive and well and serving communities all throughout the country, and NC State has one of the strongest systems in the country. Bob mentioned to me earlier that companies that he knows in the industrial park that he works in have used our industrial extension service. That also is a service that NC State provides around the state for manufacturers, particularly small to mid-sized manufacturers, to help them particularly with things like lean manufacturing. How can you produce products affordably so we can keep manufacturing in this country? Manufacturing is not dead. And by the way, if it dies in America, we're going to struggle. We've got to produce things in this country. And that's a big part of what we do at NC State, is try to support manufacturing through engineering and through the research and education we do. We have I've mentioned some of the cutting edge technologies that come out of NC State. We have currently on the market 157 products that have come out of NC State inventions. 82 companies have been formed out of NC State University. A couple of them you've heard about. SAS is one, a big analytics company in Cary, which I learned is called Confinement Area for Relocated Yankees. I'm just saying. But let me give you another example. And this one drove home for me last week when I came home and opened one of those medical bills that you get after you go to the doctor that tells you what insurance paid for and what it didn't pay for. In this case, it had a long list of blood sample work that had been done for an annual checkup. And beside every line was the company called Liposcience. Liposcience is a company that came out of NC State that has developed technology to analyze blood for lipid profiling. And this is a better predictor of cardiovascular disease than cholesterol alone. And this is a company in the Triangle that spun out of NC State from the Department of Biochemistry. It employs 110 people and is analyzing everybody's blood. So we have a huge impact on the economy of the state, and not just in the Triangle. Our Food Sciences Department developed some new aseptic processing technology that's resulted in a new food processing plant in Halifax County, one of the most rural, poverty-ridden counties in North Carolina. So it's not just in RTP that our work is having an impact. We do work hard to build strong partnerships in the region, And here in the Outer Banks, we're very proud to be a part of, with the whole UNC system, the Coastal Studies Institute. And I'm looking forward later today to tour the Institute. It's a big part of a collaborative research environment that brings faculty together from ECU, Carolina, NC State, Charlotte, all across the state, and uses this as a place to study coastal issues. And we've got engineers that are here studying the possibility of extracting energy out of waves and creating electricity from movement of water and through waves. And that's exciting stuff, and we're glad to be a part of it. Also, when I look down tonight, we have an alumni reception. I'm very excited to be there. And when I look down to the list of all the alumni, and we've got a great group coming, we have a lot of graduates in this part of the state that came through our tourism, parks, and recreation program, as you would expect. It's a big part of the industry here. And that's a great department, a great program, and Malcolm, she will get that degree, I think. I'll look her scored up when I get back, make sure. So we've got a lot going on at the university. We're focused on what we do well, and that in general is areas of science and technology and where it interfaces with real world problems. And I'm pleased to be here today, and I've got a long list where I could keep going, but I'm going to stop.